Have you ever stopped to think about how much the world has changed, but wondered if that change was actually for the better? We're told that progress is always good, but let's be real. Just because something is new doesn't make it better. And just because something is old doesn't mean it should be thrown away. Think about it. Some changes improve our lives, but others, mm, they create problems that we never saw coming. So, how do we know the difference? Have you ever heard about the time that Coca Cola decided to change its soft drink recipe? Well, without consulting the consumer, by the way. They decided for the consumer that sweeter would somehow be better. Well, they found out real quick that that's not what people wanted. They didn't like it and they rejected it. Why? Because people had become accustomed to the original taste of Coke. That was one of the reasons why people get attached to certain products, because I knew for sure when I bought a Coke and drank it, it would taste the same now as it did when I was 12 years old. So, at any rate, they were forced to go back to the original recipe. And I think it only took 70 days. Their market shares plummeted. It's just a long story. But the point I'm trying to make is, think about this. If a soft drink making a decision to change its recipe caused that much backlash, what about the bigger changes happening in our world today? And don't get it wrong. I'm not a naysayer. I'm not a negative Ned. Not every change is bad. And some changes have undeniably made our lives better, such as the advancements in medicine. We have longer lifespans, we live healthier lives and better healthcare for most. And in the areas of technology and communication, there's more instant access to information. No longer do you have to hold a map on your lap while you're trying to get to California. Now you just punch it in the Navi and head on your way. And social awareness, you know, to groups and underserved populations, there's more representation for those particular groups now. And in the area of artificial intelligence, which I find very interesting myself, automation, efficiency, and the endless new possibilities that this new technology holds. But the caveat, if AI can replace humans in jobs, it can mimic human thinking and create art and music, well, where does that leave us? And are we controlling the technology, or is it controlling us? And here's where things start to fall apart, people. When change comes with a price that we didn't see coming. Do you remember a time when we actually talked to people face to face? When knowing your neighbors wasn't a rarity, you actually talked and built relationships and had real conversations, real meaningful conversations. Hey, Ned, how's the kids? How's Jim doing in college? You know, this doesn't happen now. With social media, yeah, it connects us, but it also isolates us. And there seems to be an epidemic of loneliness in this country where people just isolate themselves from any other real human interactions aside from those little screens. And so is technology really making us more connected or making us more distracted? And I often ponder, is life really, is it getting better? And be honest, does it feel like life is getting easier or harder? To me, things were much easier back in the day. I can remember when one job, it could support a family. You could buy a house, a car, put your kids through college, and hell, if you were lucky, you could even get a boat. Not now. not today's society. Wages are stagnant. Raises are far and few between. Good paying jobs are far and few between. The cost of living is skyrocketing. And unfortunately, that's just a natural way of life for too many people. In college, I don't even talk about that because that's being priced out of a lot of people's dreams. And if we don't fix this, people, what does the future look like for the next generation? And I can also remember a time when people could disagree and still get along. I can remember sitting in the barbershop many times and having heated, highly heated debates with guys that I worked with, that I fished with, and we still found a common ground, a respect for each other that's not there anymore. Nowadays, one wrong opinion, one wrong quote or post on a social media site could cost you everything. Cost your job, your friendship, your reputation, which you may have worked your whole life to try to build up. Things are just different. You've got cancel culture and echo chambers, regurgitating garbage, and political division is at an all-time high. I mean, we can't even talk about politics anymore. And if we don't learn how to communicate again, where does that leave us? And just because change is happening, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's making things better. And now, don't get me wrong. Change in and of itself is not a bad thing. Change isn't necessarily good or bad. It just depends on its consequences. Are we questioning whether these changes are truly improving our lives? I wonder. And are we balancing progress with wisdom? Or are we blindly accepting everything new as better? And are we keeping the things from the past that worked, or throwing everything away in the name of progress? Because to my knowledge, and it's just me, I'm just an old man with a lot of opinions, but to my knowledge, the best changes respect tradition while making life better. And the worst changes, they just erase everything that came before them, and they don't even think about the cost. This is off topic, but we're all of a certain age. Do you guys remember love letters? Writing love letters. That thought just crossed my mind. No one does that anymore. Just the act of sitting down and getting your thoughts in order to write this love letter, not knowing the outcome. She may say yay, she may say no, but just that feeling. But anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. So ask yourself this, people. Are we actually moving forward with all this progress and technology, or are we just moving? So at the end of the day, change isn't the enemy. It isn't. It's how we handle it that really matters. And the real danger, though, is blindly welcoming every new thing that comes on the scene without scrutinizing its impact on us. So let me ask you this. What's one change you think that has made your life better personally? And what's one change that you think has made your life worse? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really need to hear your opinions on this. And if this video made you think or question some things, hit that like button. Subscribe and share it with someone who may benefit from hearing it. Because real talk, The future isn't just about what changes, it's about what we refuse to let go of. Well, thank you for pulling up a chair with me today, family. I'm always glad you came, and you know you're always welcome here. And let's continue to build our village one voice at a time. And so until next time, take care of yourself and each other. And I'm Unc, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.